guys, welcome back to another video on the channel today. Today we're looking at a hot lap driving the Audi R8 GT3 around Spa on the PS4 version, so it's a console setup. So we're going to start our lap looking again very similar to the McLaren 650S GT3, to brake just around the 100-yard bolt on the left there, braking down in second gear. We actually miss the apex here by quite a big margin and lose a tenth or so down the straight. What we do manage to do though is hold a reasonable speed through the corner even though we miss the apex. So we're actually carrying okay speed, but we're probably about a tenth down on our maximum possible time through that part there. Going through a rouge flat out, you can easily take this flat out in this car with this setup. There's no risk of needing to lift it all with this car. So then approaching down into the next chicane now, we're going to look to brake just before the curb on the left. You can look out for the curb on the left hand side now, making sure our brake balance was on 71, then braking just before the curb, going down into third gear and then slowly feed the power through in third gear, and then trying to get the car into the apex of this corner so we can get on the power as early as possible, then into fourth gear, and then we're looking again for the curb on the left where we're going to brake down into second gear. Again, I take quite a tight line, then square the car off and then get on the power as early as I can. Hard on the power in third gear, getting it back over to the right hand side, back down to third gear. We slightly missed the apex there and then we run wide and we got a little bit loose on the back end and we lost maybe another tenth or two there, a bit annoyingly, but then we managed to save it just about, going down into fourth gear for this long left-hander, really fast corner. Ran a little bit wide but not too bad. We were just a little bit hesitant and getting on the power, probably lost maybe half a tenth there, and then braking just before the curb on the left, down into third gear, as tight to that curb without going on the curb as possible, and then again the same for this left-hander, and then on the power as early as you can into fourth gear, then back down to third gear before we see that curb on the left, and again you want to get it nice and tight and on that apex, and then hard on the power, use some of this curb on the left, and then chucking it in. We slightly miss the apex again there and bogged down slightly. You're going to see the ghost pull ahead because of that mistake there. And so I mean there's probably at least half a second to come off this lap, but overall it's a reasonably good lap. And the setup works really well, you can see. Going through this corner now, flat out in sixth gear, and we're going to put the traction control onto the weakest setting just before we go into this corner. It's the only time we're going to use traction control on the lap. And braking just by that third board, down into first gear, hard on power, managed to carry a lot of speed through there. Then on the power in second gear, again we lost the back end nearly a bit on the exit there, maybe losing another tenth. So we go over the line on a 2 minute 17.497. I'm convinced this should be able to get into the 2 minute 16s on the PS4 because there was at least half a second's worth of errors in that lap. But as you can see, the setup is definitely worth, a good setup that will get you the lap time even when you're not hitting up every corner perfectly. So looking at the setup, brake bias 71. I did have it lower for the first corner on 70.5, I think, just for that first turn to get the turning through that corner, but then I've upped it to 71 for the rest of the lap just to support the rear end out. Aerodynamics completely off. This car you don't want to run aerodynamics on. You need to gain as much speed as you can with this car. Gearing slightly altered, and differential on 10 on power, on 60 on the coast. Feels really nice. Tried a little bit lower and it just felt a little bit too loose at the rear end in the braking zones and when lifting off the throttle. So just bear that in mind when you're driving it. If you want to use high, you can. Tyre pressure is 19, 19, 20, 20. So remember, if the track temperatures are a bit warmer, 22 degrees we add on for this. So if it's 24 or the actual track temperatures are higher, just raise it up slightly. Toe angles, we went quite high on the toe angles, but we balanced everything out as much as we could. If you have a look, you can see our toe angles in the front were 9.9, cambers were not too strong, and ride height was 60, 65, and springs not too massive difference between a lot of settings. Anti-roll bar 7 and 4, went quite low on the roll bars for this car. It just seems to give a nice amount of grip to that front end. Dampers, we're on the bump, we went 7.6, fast bump down 2.2. Again, I was trying to keep everything, if you look, very equal. Rebound 7.7, 7.7, fast rebound 4.4. It just seems to keep the car really balanced through the corners with this car. Travel range, maximum on the front but not maximum on the rear. Found much better with this car, and overall I was really pleased with the setup. I'm going to go online, hopefully, maybe in a week or so, and give this car a test now. It won't be anytime soon, but when I get a chance I'll go on and give it a test online and hopefully give you guys a video of myself driving this setup on this car, because I think to me it feels like it can compete with the 650S GT3 round here, this Audi. With this setup it feels really nice and I really enjoyed driving it, to be fair. It felt like I could be consistent with it, so I'm looking forward to giving this car a go on this track. online, and hopefully, you never know, we might get some private lobbies one time this year, and might be able to give it a good test out. Anyway guys, thanks again for watching. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video.